So the first speaker is Michail Riev, who is the head of collections and deputy director of the Zumwalt Ludwig Museum in Aachen. And he specializes in medieval and early modern sculptures and painting. And he has a very interesting and intriguing title, Antitype Emulation Hybrid, the influence of Netherlands altarpieces on German production, and so on. So we will hear more talk about styles, influences, and migration of ideas and styles. Floor is yours.
Yes, thank you very much for the introduction and the invitation, of course. So I will hurry up and start with my first slide. The only written source for the impact of a Netherlandish altarpiece on a German retable I could find so far is the history of the new high altar of the St. Nikolai Church in Kalkar. It's in the Duchy of Kleve. This is part now of the federal state of North Rhine-Westphalia. In 1488, a commission from Kalkar traveled to a number of churches in order to get some impressions of up-to-date, latest fashion altarpieces. They went to Wesel. This is Kalkar, this is Wesel. The distance is approximately 35 kilometers. Then to Zutphen in the Duchy of Gelders, and then to Deventer, which is another territory. It's the territory of the Bishop of Utrecht. The artist, and this is very odd, the artist Raad Hartog was asked to make drawings of the retables. Moreover, he was sent to Herzogenbosch, this is here, in the Duchy of Brabant, to sketch the high altar retable by Adrian van Wesel. After final negotiations in Deventer, Master Arndt van Zwolle was commissioned to manufacture the sculptures for the shrine and the predella. Interestingly, the Kalkar commissioners were not oriented towards artistic centers in Westphalia, for instance Münster, or in the Rhineland, for instance Cologne. So they didn't go to Cologne or to Münster, somewhere here. And this is the result. It was finished in 1559. The second issue is the question whether Netherlandish altarpieces served as a model for the selection and the arrangement of scenes. In 1981, the Belgian art historian Herman de Smet published a Westphalian altarpiece from the church in Unna-Lünen in Lower Saxonia, which is a faithful copy of the nearby Antwerp retable in Ham-Rheinland, as far as the iconographic program and the setting of the carved groups, for instance, the raised central scene of the crucifixion, are concerned. In style and technique, however, they differ. This is now here the Antwerp model, and this is the product of imitation. The carver, he was orientating towards the Antwerp scenes, but stylistically it's quite different. This leads us to the next fundamental question: were Netherlandish altarpieces used as models for literal and true copies? Two very prominent examples which suit into this quarry are located in Schwäbisch Hall in southwest Germany. Both are suspected to be local German, Swabian, Franconian products after South Netherlandish models like Brussels ones. So this is the big high altar piece in the Church St. Michael in Schwäbisch Hall. And so far the most scholars think this is an imitation, a copy after a Brussels work. I don't know why they think that. And this is the other one, also in Schwäbisch Hall, Unterlimburg. Many art historians are doubtful that this was made in Leuven or in Brussels, and they think it's a local workshop. I don't know why they think that. And a third one, in the museum in Buxtehude, it's south of Hamburg. This inverted T-shaped shrine shows fluted, twisted columns, the voluminous canopies with tracery windows, the socle zone with tracery carved azure. They are characteristic aspects of Netherlandish altarpieces. Moreover, the sequence of the Passion scenes, the densely populated composition, and the steeply rising arrangement of the figures testify, among other details, to a Netherlandish model. However, we do not know for sure, as this piece may also have been made in a North Netherlandish workshop. At the moment, in the museum, they think it is the current attribution, Lower Saxon workshop. Before this, it was a Netherlandish import. Now we have to discuss whether it could be a North Netherlandish import. I think so. So I didn't get better quality photographs. I apologize for this. So then we face now another problem. Then we turn to the next topic. Did Netherlandish altarpieces have an influence on the shape of the central case of a retable? It is astonishing that the type of Netherlandish T-shape, inverted T-shape retable shrine introduced in the early 15th century appeared with almost no delay in German-speaking lands, even in the south. One example for this inverted T-shape shrine is in the church of Bellworm in North Frisia. It's the west coast of Schleswig-Holstein. It represents a type of shrine which is unique in the territory of Schleswig-Holstein. It shows small shutters filled with carved reliefs on both sides of the elevated center part on top of the shrine, an absolute characteristic detail for Netherlandish retables like the one in Herzogenbosch by Adriaan van Wezel. You can see here the shutters were filled with reliefs. And very typical for Netherlandish altarpieces are these canopies, gilded and azure carved, and how the setting is of the crucifixion. But art historians think it was made in Husum at the west coast of Schleswig-Holstein, after a Netherlandish model. Then we do have these two altarpieces with curved trefoil arches. These are the only ones in Germany with this shape, and they all were made in one workshop by the master Tillmann Heisacker named Krijn Dunk, and he was active in Cologne. And we can prove that this master took prints or other altarpieces as a pattern for his shrines. Here we have the master W. and Key. He was active in the eastern Netherlands around 1465-1490, and he made two engravings of empty shrines to be filled with sculptures. And then we do have another piece in Ørsta in Norway by an Utrecht Northern Netherlandish workshop. You can see it's almost the same shape on top, and another example of an Antwerp workshop with, also with this kind of trefoil top. But Mr. Tillman, he came originally from the Netherlands, because Kranendonk is a village in the southeast of Brabant, and I guess he was trained in Utrecht and in Zwolle with Master Arndt, so this was very common for him, this trefoil shape. And you only can find this kind of retable, this shrine, in his workshop and in Cologne, nowhere else in German-speaking countries. So. So we also have small details which were transferred from Netherlands to northern Germany. You can see this spiker block in Netherlands. It's a spiked blank or a nailed block. Is this here? And this is a typical invention, iconographic invention by the Netherlandish artists. And now then you can find it with Northern Netherlandish paintings and sculptures, even in graphic art in prints. And there's one big exception. You also can find it with Jan Polak, a Polish artist who was active in Munich. He also uses sometimes this device. And it's to make the carrying of the cross more dramatic, because this nailed block, with every move, it hits against the legs of Christ, and it makes it more theatric and more dramatic. Then also some other settings were taken over from Brabantine altarpieces. You can see here the crucifixion scene is taking place on two floors, parted with a projecting soil here. And it's vertical, shifted above each other. And this is typical also for Antwerp altarpieces. And it was taken over in Schleswig-Holstein and in Lower Saxony. And then single Netherlandish motifs and pictorial inventions were transferred via Netherlandish pipe clay or wooden figures to the east. And I will show here two examples for this phenomenon in the Markgräviat Brandenburg in eastern Germany. The models were not used for entire retables, but only for parts of these. That is single reliefs and sculptures. So in Brandenburg retables, we can find sometimes wooden sculptures which were carved according to smaller pipe clay figures, which were exported in a big, huge number to the north and east and west from Liège and from Utrecht. So then the hybrid use of Netherlandish wood tables is also an interesting aspect. So the altarpieces, the shrines made in the Netherlands, they were found very exotic and very precious. And this is the reason why sometimes these shrines were inserted into German altarpieces. This is the case with this altarpiece in, where is it, in St. Moritz Church in Mittenwalde in Brandenburg. And in the middle, they have had inserted an Antwerp altarpiece, a winged one. So they took off the wings, and in the middle you can see the Flemish work, very prominently inserted. And the next one is a South Netherlandish table supposed to be made in Brussels around 1460, and it's mounted into a winged shrine with this architectural extensions on top of the case, and a new predella with busts. And this was made by a local carpenter's workshop and a local painter. We know the name, Jakob Mühlholzer of Winsheim, and it's dated 1496. So only this part was made in Brussels with the wings, and the other things were added later. So it's some kind of highlighting precious South Netherlandish wood table, which is a little bit older than this later piece. So then a very thrilling question is, because I was thinking about the idea that the Bollnäs shrine could have been made in Brussels and then exported to Tallinn or wherever. And then I was in search of prefabricated, ready-made Braventine wood table shrines. And then in our collection we hold this small altarpiece, which was undoubtedly made in Mechelen. This is a city halfway between Antwerp and Brussels. And there is the quality mark of Mechelen. This is the coat of arms with 3 vertical bars called the Tribalen. But the problem is that this group doesn't belong originally to this shrine. It doesn't bear any marks, and it doesn't fit stylistically with the shrine. So this is an empty, I think a commissioner, he bought an empty shrine, and then he ordered another workshop, maybe in another city in the Netherlands, to fill it up with other sculptures. So this is the same with this altarpiece, which is now in the Museum Boijmans in Rotterdam. It was also made in Mechelen. It has also on the right side the coat of arms, the mark, the quality mark. And here the group of the 3 Magi is supposed to be made in the Lower Rhine area or in the Duchy of Gelders, which is now the modern province Gelderland in in the Netherlands. So they don't have marks as well. So this is quite another workshop. And this is another one. This is a bigger altarpiece in the Church of Ödeby in Sweden. And you can see on the shrine at the sides, you can see the coat of arms, 3 pieces and 3 pieces here. But it's the same situation. The sculptures don't fit into this, stylistically, fit into this altarpiece. So they don't look like Mechelin sculptures should look like, and they don't have marks on the back. Because it's common use that the sculptures, they do have also the coat of arms in the back of the sculptures or the reliefs. And this is even true with very charming, very small, that high, small triptychs filled with small figures. And there are also decorations made by tin lead alloy flowers and blossoms and stars. And in this case, I guess that only the altarpiece, the architectural part, is from Mechelen. And in this case, the sculptures were made in Cologne. As you can see here with Saint Sebastian here, the Saint Christopher and Saint Roch. So I'm convinced that they are made in Cologne by the master Tillmann we heard of before, or it is a product, the sculptures are a product of the damned 19th century, because in Germany, in the West, we always speak of the damned 19th century because there were a big number of very skilled carvers who could imitate Gothic sculptures very well. It's very hard to recognize what's neo-Gothic and what's original. And we don't know where it is, the whereabouts are unknown. I would like to have it under a microscope and to prove if it's 19th century or beginning of 16th century. So, you know all very well this piece. Brussels with Brussels marks everywhere with painted wings, painted in Brussels, no problems. This is a thing we like very much. Then we have this piece. It's here on display, so I don't want to say much about the shrine and the sculptures. The only thing I can say, it was not made, the sculptures were not made in Lübeck. This is impossible because in Lübeck the guild regulations only allow the use of oak wood. And the sculptures are made of lime wood. And secondly, the decorations on the gold surface with this graffito decorations, they seem to me an imitation of Netherlandish ones. The only thing which is missing, punch marks, then the imitation would be perfect. And then I went to Frankfurt to see the third one. It's a pity because there are several pieces added later in the late 19th century. So this group is new, Jesus is new, and Saint Jacob is new, and one of the angels here above is also new. The polychromy was redone in the 1880s. And also this Gesprenge, these pinnacles, they are from the 1880s, and the wings were added later. So, but the shape of the shrine looks very Brussels. And I got the documentation, and the image is not very clear. You have to believe me now. On the bottom left side, there is the rest of a so-called forest mark you can find with the Brussels altarpiece in your collection as well. And this proves that Baltic wainscot boards were used for creating the shrine. But that's all we know. We don't have any marks, no Brussels, no Antwerp, nothing. But it looks very Brussels to me. And maybe we can find outside somewhere marks, because there's a thick gesso ground and a thick overpaint at the corners. Maybe we can find something, but we have to wait until the next restoration campaign. So, and this is the corner joint with half dovetails and additionally fixed with small wooden nails here. Could be, maybe this drawing could be helpful with comparing other Brussels altarpieces. So this is a detail. So, and I'm convinced that I have seen these faces in the past, but I cannot remember where, and it drives me insane. It drives me insane because I don't know where to look. So, summary and conclusion. So far, only a few scholars have dealt with this interesting topic, mostly so in case studies. And also this lecture could only give a short insight. Some regions seem to have been more receptive to artistic influences from the Netherlands than others. More findings could be expected with regard to the Upper Rhine area, Alsace, Cologne, Westphalia, North Germany, especially with cities of the Hanseatic League along the North German, Polish coast and inland Hansa cities. Single Netherlandish iconographic motifs and pictorial inventions, for instance the nailed block with the carrying of the cross, the swoon of the Virgin, the meeting of the Magi before visiting the Christ child, the densely populated Calvary architectonical elements, canopies, columns, socle zones with filigree, tracery, fenestration, backgrounds of the shrine, and the shape of the altarpiece, shrine, inverted T-shape, curved trefoil arch, raised in the center, seem to have been adopted. To my mind, a comprehensive research on this theme would be worthwhile. Thank you for your attention.